tourism and casino as growth twin engines.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, I am Jenny Ortiz-Bolivar. I am Sigma World's Asia Lead Senior Journalist and Reporter, and I'm back here on stage for a very interesting panel discussion, Tourism and Casino as Growth Twin Engines. You know, we are here in Sri Lanka, South Asia, and I think everyone here will agree that integrated resorts are big in this part of the world. We're big with IRs, right? And today, this afternoon, we will discuss and explore the powerful intersection of tourism and casino development and how integrated resorts have become growth engines for tourism, for MICE retail, for entertainment, and regulated gaming across global markets. And to unpack these dynamics, I would like to give a few moments to our panel members to introduce themselves, what they do, and what company they are from, so we can get to know them a bit. Let's start with Brady here.
I need a mic. Oh, it works. Okay. I'm Brady Hiscox. A lot of you know me throughout the gaming industry and hospitality industry and alcohol industry. I've been coming to Sri Lanka since I was a kid. My parents helped fund the original casinos here, and I'm glad to be here. And it took a lot of effort to get here.
Yeah.
I'm involved in doing digital, both technology, security, gaming planning, everything. And that's about it. I don't like talking about myself. And I'm going to take Harmon's role, too, as the antagonistic person that just talks too much.
All right.
Yes, 28 years in hospitality industry in 7 countries. Plus, I'm a researcher. I have written more than 100 research papers, plus 400 plus articles how to develop sustainability tourism. Plus, I'm the Sri Lanka representative for Sustainable Wellness Group, United Kingdom.
Our hotel expert right there.
Thank you.
Artur.
Thank you. I'm the most unexperienced one, and now it's even harder. My name is Artur. I'm the Deputy Head of Business Development for BetConstruct. Been in industry for around 8 years, very little, but both B2C and B2B, and it's my 5th time in Sri Lanka, and looking forward. Thank you.
Right. No, I mean, this is a very interesting panel because we have, of course, from land-based expert, from hotels, and of course, the online. And I always say this with Sigma events, it's not land-based versus online. It is land-based and online, right? And I think
Absolutely agree.
I think we will discuss and dig deep on that topic in a bit later. But I want to go with Dharshana first, starting with the fundamentals. What are the primary factors influencing why people choose one hotel or resort over another today?
Yeah, thank you very much. The reason is in an unknown country, if you travel, okay, all you guys are foreigners to Sri Lanka. So how you select a hotel? That's the question. So the selections will be done based on TripAdvisor, or do your research through internet, or check Facebook or any other social media, whether it's convenient or to the airport, whether you have security, safety, whether you have best sleeping quality. When you enter to the hotel, you will expect 24/7 security, food, then Wi-Fi, internet, all those kind of things.
Very important.
So, end of the day, hotel is just a building. The people who work here, they make it into life. That's what.
That's true. It's the hospitality, you know, that you will remember, the warmth of the hotel, right? Now I want to go to Artur because we've discussed about the omnipresence, online and land-based. You know, the synergy. Based on your experience across B2C and B2B, how should land-based operators think about the connection between physical gaming and online platforms. I think you want to add as well on that, Brady, but maybe Arthur, you can start with that.
If you want. Yeah, I think as you fairly mentioned, it's not anymore online or offline. It's together, and it's quite impossible to stay offline and not to go online in this century. And it's interesting to see how it's developing because we had a few experiences in different types of parts of the world trying to connect the land bases to online. And it's interesting how different cultures are reacting to that and how different parts of the world really trying to connect to the online. But obviously, it's not even the future, it's now, and there is no chance without online.
Brady?
You can't speak when I'm speaking.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you can't go back. I've been involved in both online and land-based for most of my professional career. I've been around land-based since before online was a thing. And one of the things, and also, you can't forget, land-based guys hate the hospitality guys too.
Yeah.
So you got to realize it's a synergy between all segments, and to properly be able to engage, to acquire and keep your patron, both from the hospitality side, from the online side, and the land-based side. You need to make a synergy between all three of them, and people from the land-based side don't realize that online guys have been capturing so much customer data and learning the cost of acquisition down to a microscience. And the hospitality guys could learn that too, glean a lot of that information, what their likes, the dislikes, how much time they spend away from a table, what their favorite game is. And then knowing that since you've got them trapped on their phone already, that they're near, say, Cinnamon Life. Oh, we have your favorite type of game ready for you on Bank 3, Slot 2. And the hospitality is prepared to fit here's a meal coupon for your favorite Italian restaurant, and you have that nice Bellini that you like to drink waiting for you at the game. Please come. And that's something that online gaming has learned a lot earlier than land-based. And to get that service at land-based, you had to be a high roller. Uh-huh. You had to be, like, for example, high roller here would be about $10,000 minimum rolling, whereas Macau would be $1 million. Here, when you have the online technology, it's just the cost of data. And gleaming that, you can give even on the lowest end player, there are no low end players as long as they're betting, the same or at least a superior level of experience if all three parties come to work. And you'll make them happier and they'll want to come back.
No, very interesting points. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm from the Philippines, and I want to give an example.
Ano sinasabi mo?
No, so in the Philippines, integrated resorts, for example, Soler, they have the Mega Fanalo. It's their iGaming, their online platform. Okada as well in Manila has its online counterpart. We have Casino Plus, which is an iGaming platform who have, a hotel counterpart. It's Hotel Stottenberg and Clark. So I guess, would you say, for the three of you, would you say that, this is actually the trend and actually what will happen and what we'll see in the coming years to come? The land-based, the integrated resorts having their gaming platform online as well. I think Artur wants to answer it right away. Go ahead.
First time I want to answer something. No, to be honest, I think there are more and more casinos in the world that are, more and more hotels, in the world that are opening specifically for the game lovers. And they are so much oriented to them. Obviously, Okada is a good example, which is not like that. And City of Dreams, fantastic example of leisure, of beautiful luxury experience. But we see that in lots of countries, they open hotels which are specifically for the gamblers, players. That means in their living room, in their hotel room, they have the table of blackjack, they have a tablet in the bathroom. So it's getting more and more that if people want to play and want to enjoy that part, there's so many different options. But Okada, obviously, different experience.
Darshana, are you seeing, when we say land-based, it's the hotel and integrated resorts, really integrating online entertainment, such as, gaming, online gaming as well. While we are, for example, we're here at COD, are we gonna see, integrated resorts doing more of this stuff, offering more online entertainment, even gaming as well?
Yeah, correct. My last assignment, I was in Saudi Arabia. Now, a country like strict ruling who are having in Saudi Arabia countries, by 2030, they are also moving towards flexibility of law. Why? Even in Maldives now, they are going to build a big mega city. So it depends on the clients because as I mentioned you a couple of minutes before, in my experience in Maldives around 10, 15 years, some European guests, they collect money 11 months to travel in the month of 12th. Then they check
Yeah.
every attention to detail. So, I mean, it depends. Because gaming, I mean, when you have money, because it's some kind of saving, you must have money to spend end of the day. And what you expect, because it's for end of the day, you are traveling apart, away from your country for a reason. If you take a country like Japan or United States, I mean, check the percentage of passport holders in their own countries.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's declining. In America, they don't have much passports because they have such things to do in their own country. So we have to check the pattern of the guest arrivals and what they prefer to do, because then only we can cater. Then only then only we can decide how to cater, because regional competitors and all these other competitors, they also seek the potentialness of the business opportunities and they
Yeah.
try to capitalize it and absorb the guest. That's what.
Right. Now, Brady, I want to ask, when markets, develop large-scale integrated resorts, which critical technology layer do you find is most overlooked? And why is it important to address that early?
A lot of times when they develop large scale integrated resorts, some of the technology that's overlooked would be logistics technology, getting things to and from the property. I was just talking to Dharshana about some of the biggest problems Philippines has is logistics and customs, and that's something that plagues this country as well. Getting things to this event, well, luckily you're mostly online, but getting some of your supplies here, there's no differentiator between exhibition thing or something that's for sale.
Yeah.
And getting things stuck in customs is, well, that's a nightmare. And if you don't have the logistics side, supply chain, and the technology that drives it, rather than just an integrator or a fixer, which you shouldn't have, right? Wink, wink. It becomes a nightmare. Then the security technology. They're mentioning, some of the things for making people feel comfortable at the hotels is seeing that they are secure and that the things are reliable. They're not going to get robbed in their room. It's very, very important, and that's totally overlooked or done on the cheap. And people do notice that, and they don't come back. Not just to a property, but the country. In Philippines, we have a problem with, on the gaming side, typically until the Skyway was built, if the property ever let their customer off property, they never got them back. Whether they were safe or not, there wasn't a perceived safety. And so I kind of diverged from technology, but it
I get that.
But it still involves the same thing. So
Makes sense, totally. It makes sense. Now, Dharshana, resorts today must serve business travelers. We've discussed this earlier. Leisure tourists. We also have MICE delegates and wellness seekers. How should operators design for these multiple guest profiles without, diluting the main product?
The thing is now artificial intelligence is rapidly in the world. So anyone can check the guest profile. A simple thing I did this morning to this hotel. half an hour before on my way from my residence, Gampa, I called to the front office guys and I passed the message to the general manager plus one of my colleagues who work with me in overseas. I'm arriving. So by that time, they have checked my profile and they were aware this guy is arriving to our hotel and he is participating for this conference. Then I had a warm welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even a software like Opera, because I'm more into hotels in Maldives, even a software like Opera, you can feed everything into that system. And nowadays the thing is, people are more in sustainability. Sustainability.
Okay.
Sustainability. And they check everything in that corner. And I think after 2 or 3 years, I believe, without a green certificate, accreditation, no guest will check into a hotel. That's a new trend. My job is to promote that sustainability in all over the world. So apart from that, what I have seen in Maldives, Maldives, logistically, Maldives is a very difficult place.
Yeah.
Because I think long time ago, when World Bank did a analysis how Maldives can be developed, the report finally says because of the logistic issue, they can't recommend whether the Maldives can be developed. But see today how this Dr. Umar Maniku, the father of tourism in Maldives, how we develop this. Whatever the way you travel to Malé airport, there are only 3 ways you can reach to a hotel or resort. They call it resort. Either you should see a domestic flight or seaplane, no speedboat. But it's so much costly. After this much paying cost in order to reach to a particular hotel, and the room rate may be Jumeirah or Four Seasons, Anantara, all those kind of high-end resorts, more than $5,000 full board. So why guests travel there?
Yeah.
So there should be a reason. So, then the hotel owners need to understand. Recently, I wrote a couple of more than 10, 15 articles, how to develop Maldives tourism into a different segment. The sustainability, casinos or gaming, they need to bring into the picture. Because when guests having free time, some guests, once we check in, they will prefer to go to a spa and have a relaxation. So you need to check the market segment, you need to check the guest arrivals, you need to get the guest questionnaires, and you need to get the real guest feedback, and then check the possibilities, and you need to write. If Saudi Arabia can change, as I mentioned before, so why can't we? Why can't other countries?
Yeah, now I want to go to Artur here. Can you, we have Philippines as an example earlier, but can you give us a market, other markets as an example where online gaming supported rather than cannibalized land-based operations?
Wow, I told you I'm not a most unexperienced one. That's why you kept this question for me, right? No, but pretty much everywhere in the world, really. We're having, around 30 expos during the year all around the globe. Latin America, Africa, Europe, different parts of Europe, CIS countries, Asia. And all of them have pretty much the same vibe. Of course, there are land-based casinos who are trying not to go to the online because they feel like there are bigger sharks there and it's difficult and it's different idea. But you need it. And because of the technologies now that the player can go to his room and, as you said, not to leave him out, but to go to his room and still play with the same dealer because they like it, and to keep them in the vibe, in a secure, in a safe atmosphere. And I think every country, it's Caucasus, it's Middle East, it's Latin America, all of them, I think slowly, surely, that's the only solution.
And I guess it's because everything is going digital now, right? Even money. So it's like, it's the path. There's no other option but to really look at online as well. If you're a land-based operator, you really have to think online, because if not, then you'll be left out.
Whatever you love, you need to have on your phone, right? So.
That's true. Whatever you have, it's in our phone. It's a powerful device. Do you want to add something to that, really? All good.
I think
Now,
Artur took care of it.
Thank you very
now
much.
how can
Good
operators and regulators use technology?
Sorry, say that again.
How can operators and regulators use technology, whether surveillance or real-time reporting, to really build, this is an important word, trust, around, AML, responsible gaming, and operational transparency.
That's a double-edged sword, though, because with all this information, there's paralysis by analysis. So the problem with regulators is they're reactive. So you need to give them clean dashboards of curated information. But the regulators need to talk about being in the Stone Age. Sorry, regulators out there. You need to embrace technology. It's here to help you. Most regulators, this country is a prime example, Philippines is even worse, love their paperwork. They love to, it's not,
Ouch.
It's not.
True, though.
No, but it's true.
Philippines keeps Oki data in business. And they need to embrace digital transformation, and then it can give them clear picture of what, on the regulation side, what potential pain points for the environment is, their constituency, the operators, what the pain points on their customers would be. On the gaming side, what their favorite trends, or where there's a lot of complaints in gaming. People are bitchy, for lack of a better term, about what they want, and they should get it. And being able to craft a proper regulatory approach where I got the paralysis side of it. Look at what's happening in Japan for the last 20 years on paralysis on the gaming laws. If they embrace technology, look to the common and use the data globally of what the biggest causes of theft, the biggest causes of problem gaming, and used a balanced approach using that data, it would be much better.
Of course, it's so difficult, and that's why I think in my opinion, for land-based casinos, because they know their risks, they know they're checking the KYCs and everything, and when they go to online, it's totally different market, totally different ways to check it, and they always feel safer in a retail part when they know how to check. But because of the AIs and of all technologies, I think it's much, much easier nowadays, and with all big data houses they have, and with AI-supported CRMs and risk departments, the only choice is to be online and offline, obviously, I think.
Right. Dharshana, I want to pick your brain on this. So how do you see technology such as AI can be adopted or utilized by hotels or integrated resorts? How do you want them?
The technology, what you need to do is you need to analyze the pattern of the particular guest. Okay. Because human desires and human behaviors are different from person to person. My way of perspective and your way of perspective is different. The food I deserve to eat, maybe it's not deserved to you.
Yeah.
The comfortableness of the particular hotel, room size, amenities, and the services, maybe in some cases it's suit to you, but in some cases it's not suit to me. Though the chatbot and all these utilities must do is, you have access to our public information up to a certain extent. Maybe TripAdvisor, maybe Google reviews, maybe LinkedIn, then maybe Facebook famous, then all the other TikToks, all these sources. So you have to get the information and analyze the pattern of that particular guest in order to cater. Because end of the day, gaming or whatever the thing, the guest satisfaction is the most important thing, and the positive reviews. Okay, now you guys are foreigners to Sri Lanka. You are ambassadors of your own country representing the Sri Lanka. Then when we observe your pattern, we believe, okay, this nature is like that, this is his behavior, so we make some kind of imaginations. That's the most important thing. So in order to help for that imaginations, this modern technologies is very vital, and the hotels or government or whoever the concern, they must identify that kind of things. Okay, end of the day, when you leave to your country, we need to analyze, example, how much you spend in the country. That's the most important thing for a particular country when you travel. The government need taxes and the hotel need revenues. Something like that. Yes.
All right. Now, Artur, as markets shift from unregulated to regulated gaming, how can online platforms help prepare the ecosystem and operators for that transition? Transitioning from unregulated to regulated gaming. how can online operators, help prepare the ecosystem for that?
I didn't know this question is kind of part of this question, but I'll be happy to answer. Because when I started in gambling, to be honest, I started with UK market.
Okay.
The most regulated, the most strict. But what I love about it, that gambling is always part of the culture. No one is shy to gamble, no one is shy to go to the horse racing. Grandfather takes the grandkids to the horse racing and teaches the bet.
There's no taboo about gambling.
Because it is
families
so
do.
safe. Because it is so safe. Because it's so beautiful. And I think that's the key, to be honest. And even in the countries where your regulations are not strict, the operators will win, the ones who will show the care to the players. And we have the example of UK as the most strict, but they bet so much, they play so much. Every day, every single day, on one crossroad, you have 10 bet shops, and people are proud to go to these bet shops. While in other countries, when it's not regulated or half regulated, people are shy to go to bet shops. And I think that's the key. As soon as the industry will be saving the players and play on a safe side.
When people are shy to go to bet shops, they usually turn to the underground.
Of course.
Because if it's taboo, I'm going to talk to my friend that's bookie, and that's when bad things happen. Because it isn't regulated. People feel safe in the tab. The placing a horse bet. They have their seat that they go to every day, and nobody's giving them grief about their gambling because it's just part of the culture. Yeah.
All right. Now, that's true. I think the key really for the industry as a whole is regulation, making it, for a country, if they're really, open to it, then they really look into how to protect the business side and as well as the clients, the people side, right? Now, this is going to be my final question. Your final words about how tourism. Oh, no, sorry. We do have a few questions that I need to ask. So these are questions from the audience. Very, very important. Okay, we'll start with Sandra. And anyone can answer.
Could it be brighter? I'm sure the shine off my head is making this unbearable for the audience.
I'm sure you'll find. All right, Sandra asked, how realistic are Sri Lanka's tourism targets for integrated resorts, and what short-term risks could affect them? I think this could go for Dharshana. How realistic Sri Lanka's tourism targets, and what short-term risks could affect them?
The thing is, everything depends on the clientele. Now, government has taken positive steps to regulate this gaming in Sri Lanka. So apart from that, this is the safest country. We are in the hospitality, and most people think this is part of India. No, we are an independent country, and we have good brands, international brands in Sri Lanka, like Shangri-La. So those are international brands. So you can see the potential in the country, and the risk is, there are two kinds of guests. One is local guest and the foreign guest. So basically what I have seen in last couple of years, Sri Lanka used by the traveling pattern is people more used to visit Maldives, and last 2 nights or maybe maximum 3 nights they used to stay in Sri Lanka, something like that. So that mechanism and to attract the high-end guest is the most important thing for the country, because it needs to be changed. And once it changed, once the hotels, anyway, we are maintaining high standards and high hospitality. So it will go on, yes.
Right, now, next question. How can tax and licensing incentives be balanced with proper oversight? Anyone can answer, please?
I'll take this, and I'll add the last one, which is how crucial is a strong independent regulator for attracting long-term investment, because the two go hand in hand. If you have a licensing system balanced with proper oversight, as well as a strong independent regulator, people will invest more money when they don't feel it's going to corruption.
Wow. Yes.
You know where I'm looking.
Yeah, I know. I totally can relate.
Yeah,
Wow.
with a strong independent regulator, as well as outside not moderators, outside advisory boards to help look and make sure that the tax dollars are going to where they need to, it will add to more investment, more tourism, more technology growth, and more adoption, I believe. So it's incredibly important. I took care of two of them for you.
Yes, thank you for taking care of the second and fourth question there. So we have a final question from our audience. Thank you so much for being so participative. Which metrics best measure success beyond gaming, and how can social and environmental risks be managed?
Yeah, I will take that question. Thank you very much for asking. Total quality management, that's the important thing. That's the best metric to measure the success. And the thing is guest satisfaction. End of the day, you have to get the feedback of the guest feedbacks. And environmental risks, as I mentioned, are more in sustainability and green tourism in Sri Lanka. That's why I'm promoting the sustainability part plus green tourism. So the accreditations in order to obtain the certifications like green certificates. So we'll ensure that we are okay and we are comply with the environment, and we are protecting the environment and all the natural resources for the future generations. That's we must do.
Again, thank you all for those who sent their questions. Final words from each of you. Final words. Artur, let's start with you.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm so lucky to have such experienced panel colleagues, so I don't need to speak a lot. But it is fantastic, and we're looking forward for very productive 2 days. We will be right here with 2 stands and looking forward for the conversations and some Armenian brandy.
I'm going to go have some more brandy with
Some
Artur
more brandy,
in a minute.
indeed. Thank you very much.
All right, Dharshana, final words for our topic, casino, tourism.
Yeah, thank you
as
very
twin
much
engines.
for the opportunity. Again, I'm telling sustainability and green tourism is the must. We need to work for that. And we must see by end of next year, almost all the high-end resorts should obtain the green certificates. Thank you.
Of course, Brady, please.
I think since let's bring it on, focus on Sri Lanka for just a second. This is one of my favorite places in the world. It always has been. And I think that Sri Lanka needs to do a really good job of really imprinting its own identity, which it has for people that know the country, on the rest of the world, because it gets overlapped by its bigger brother over to the side quite a bit, and that needs to change. And in people's minds, it needs to change. So if they can do that, I think it will bring a lot more tourism and a lot more investment into the country as well.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for all your insight. Really appreciate it. And to our audience, thank you.